For the compensation of your feet turning out or even your ankles pronating while you do your overhead squat, here's exactly what you want to do. So first, just to show you, you have, this is your live example right here. You're in your overhead squat, you drop it down, and then the feet are either turning like this or they're just dropping in. So either one happening, this is going to be a good routine to follow. And just pay attention too. If you get through your reps, you don't even notice it, but you start with your feet about 10, 20 degrees, and then you end and your feet after the 3 reps are at like 30, 40. That's how you know you need to do this. So you're gonna grab first a foam roller. Most likely you have a very tight soleus, which is your lower muscle in your lower leg. It's your calf muscle down here by your Achilles. So we're gonna wanna address that first. And then we're also gonna wanna hit the outside of your hamstring just a little bit. So here's the foam roll for it. You're going to throw your leg on top. Now, cross your leg on top of the other one, and I want you to focus on this lower half. For most people, it's gonna be right before the actual gastrocnemius, this part of your calf muscle, the part that you really see pops out. Just focus on that zone right there. So cross your feet on top of each other. I'm gonna lift myself off the ground, and I'm just gonna roll nice and slow. Oh yeah, definitely need this one here. You wanna spend about 1 to 2 minutes on each side, and any more than that, you could just kind of get lost on the roller, take all day. So just stop when you find a spot. Dorsiflex, plantar flex, you can do full circles. Just another way to get out the knot if you don't wanna constantly roll. Experiment, see what feels the best for you, but most important is a slow, steady movement, 1 to 2 minutes. You're gonna move to the other side. And after that, you can check in on your hamstrings. I think the stretch is gonna be a little bit more effective, but I promise you, if you're feeling it, you really need it. Most people don't feel their hamstrings much on the roller. Really kind of drop your knees to the outside and open up to get the outside of your hamstring, because that's the part we really, really wanna hit. Okay, so 1 to 2 minutes, only if you need it. Now from there, we're gonna go to a soleus stretch, and then bicep short head stretch. So this is the outside muscle of your hamstring. So you're gonna find a wall. You're going to put your hands up against it. And if we're gonna start with the right leg, it's gonna be back. Now, once I straighten my leg, I feel my calf, but when I bend my knee toward the ground, that's when you feel it toward your ankle, exactly where we want. So you're gonna hold it 30 seconds to a minute, and then you're gonna switch 30 seconds to a minute. And then we move on to our hammy stretch. Now, there's 2 options here. You can go forward in a normal hammy stretch and just twist your hip as you bend one side. That moves the stretch to the outside of this hamstring, or you can just cross your legs. I kind of like crossing your legs because now I can reach toward the instep of my back foot, and I really feel it toward the outside of my hamstring, which is where we want it. So I'm twisting, I'm reaching forward. You can use a bench or anything if you can't go all the way down like that, because the most important thing is you're kind of pushing your hip out as you hinge forward. So go to the other side, I twist, I'm holding 30 seconds to a minute, and I'm gonna come up nice and slow. So again, that's just to feel it on the outside of your hamstring right there. Last thing we need to do is just get your TFL. This is where your IT band comes into your hip. So right leg is gonna be back. I'm gonna reach up, my right arm, push my hip forward, and then reach to the side. As I do that, I'm kind of back at like 45 degrees here. I'm feeling the stretch go all the way through the front of my hip and more toward the outside. So I hold 30 seconds to a minute, and then I'm gonna switch 30 seconds to a minute. Again, the goal is not to arch, just drive your hip forward, make sure you feel it right on the outside of your hip there. Now, so you've done your foam roll, you've done your stretches. I'm sure after going through that first time, there's one that really sticks out to you. It could be the most important thing you focus on. After you get that addressed, we do the activation. So this is gonna stabilize and lock in all the new mobility you just created. Opposite toe touch, okay? So from here, you're gonna stand on your right foot, left foot is up, left arm is up. This is kind of throughout a lot of my programming because it's such an effective movement to help with this squat form. So you reach your left hand down, tap your toe. I'm stabilizing with my foot. I'm kind of gripping the ground with my foot and driving up through my hamstring as I come back to the top. reach it down. Lots of stuff firing in my lower leg. Back to the top, I hit all my reps before switching sides. So that is your process. If your big compensation is down in the feet, I want you to do it consistently, at least once a week. Check, recheck on your overhead squat, and get this thing totally cleared up before you move on to the next one.